Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashmal Shah Bashimar Kwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught me what I now know, and including the bishops as well, the elder bishops, of course, and Yahweh Bashmal Shah Braktham to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect, whom is the 1/3 that do follow. And I just want to speak on this right over here in regards to Trump raising this guy up in his administration. As the article reads, Trump says he would give Elon Musk the top role in his administration. Former President DJ Trump said he would consider appointing Elon Musk, the world's richest person, as an advisor or cabinet member of his administration if he's elected. He's a very smart guy. I certainly would. If he would do it, I certainly would. He's a brilliant guy, Trump told Reuters on Monday. And then Musk posted on his website, I'm willing to serve with an AI generated, as you can see, image of himself at the podium. And so, this makes quite sense because, a while back ago, I was reading an article of him giving DJ Trump $45 million monthly towards the time when he gets up in there. And then Trump is now saying that he's willing to have him in his administration, giving him a top role. So the guy that's funding him this amount of money, you already know that Donald J. Trump has to serve the interests of this guy over here. And when we think about Elon Musk nowadays, we're not thinking about no Tesla cars. We're thinking about what he's currently on right now. And what he's currently on right now, he's in the business of implanting people with brain implants. And as well as just to mention, he's done trials with monkeys. He's done trials with human beings with his implants. And all of that did was is to promote the idea of which is what the elite had in mind anyway, to implant the world with the implant. So if Donald J. Trump gets in there smoothly, because people are saying all kinds of stuff, saying that between the time when he gets up in there, before he gets up in there, things could be had done wrong or some sort of a side shock. Something's going to give, that's what people are saying. But let's just say none of that happens and he gets up in there smoothly. Things are going to move quick in regards to them bringing forth their ultimate agenda, which is the higher-ups agenda, which I'm not talking about people like this that you can see. I'm talking about people that you don't see, that already had in mind and that it's been pre-planned that the world becomes, or so that as well as the world can transition to a world which is going to be technocratic based. And with that, you are going to have to receive an implant of such. All right. Because the powers that be now that you do see in this case, what they want to do is they want to gather your data. So Elon Musk, he's that guy. What he wants to do eventually is to merge you with the AI. And so when you're merging with AI, which the AI is going to be on the government side, which is what they're working on right now, they can access your data. All right. That's the whole point of why Elon Musk is being known and shown. And he's acting as though he's for the rights of the people, when in fact, he's serving the interests of others that have an evil agenda, an evil devised plan. Okay. And that devised plan is to gather data on you whether you are going to be determined as the T word or just a non-threat citizen of society. Okay? And I was listening to this woman, Whitney Webb, and she's even saying that he's not to be trusted, which we already knew that already. But I'm just saying, Whitney Webb is a very intelligent woman, and she remembers a whole lot of things and that she's been bringing out. And one thing that she mentioned is Elon Musk used to be a military contractor, intelligent contractor, something to that equivalent. She mentioned,
but there's this like glimmer of light that comes out of Elon Musk, which manifests itself in Twitter and his dedication to a certain amount of free speech, which is way more than anywhere else. So can I hold out that hope at all for?
Yeah. I don't share that hope, but let me explain why. In my opinion, Elon Musk bought Twitter for user data much more than he bought it for free speech. And keep in mind that he's a Pentagon and he's a military and intelligence contractor, just like Palantir is.
So all he's doing is he's only applying the knowledge that he once known when he was that before. That's all he's doing. And this is why he allows people to freely say what they want to say and post content which goes against the mainstream media narratives of each and every country around the world. So much so that you've had countries that have made threats against Elon Musk, saying that they're going to arrest him if they're going to do A, B, and C. I don't remember that, so I ain't going to say that. But I remember reading about how they would like to penalize him because of his ex. Okay? But again, I say he's only doing all of this so that all of that data can be eventually collected and certain people can be determined as T's, or just like I've said, a non-threat to society. All right? When it's all said and done. Because everything that we do on this internet is just stored. It's going to be stored information, and that information is going to go to the higher powers, and by these things we're going to be judged finally. All right? So that's what this guy's on. Because what they need to do is they need to thin the herd before they get this new world order system up and running. They need to know who's going to be probably siding with them and who ain't. And once they find that out, they'll be able to make the move against those that are against their agenda. Okay? Because you can't have people that have been namesayers before the New World Order. Because if they're in the New World Order, they're going to cause confusion in that world. All right? So as this read, Elon Musk's vision for the future, Neuralink, AI, and Mars. If you've got an AI that is trained so hard for political correctness, it's dangerous. Musk warned. He argues that this bias towards political correctness can lead to dystopian outcome, and doesn't really say anything else on that. So we're going to continue to go down and read some more. At the Viva Tech conference, Elon Musk captivated the audience with his ambitious plan for the future, which encompasses Neuralink, artificial intelligence, and interplanetary exploration, which means he'll be able to set up aircrafts or crafts to enter into different planets, which that right there is never going to happen, because the technology that they have is low level technology, one-dimensional technology. So the technology that they are trusting in is not powerful enough for that. Now, where it concerns the sons of the Most High, which we are, the Israelites, we're going to be able to get that blessing. Okay? And that's why Yahweh Shai said to his disciples, let not your heart be troubled. Ye believed in the Most High. Believe also in me. In my Father's house are many mansions, and if it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. So what is the house of the Lord? The house of the Lord is in the heavens, the outer heavens, which is what you would call a space. So within space, you have multiple different planets. And that's something that we are going to access. And if it were not so, I would not have not told you. Excuse me. I would have told you I go to prepare a place for you. All right. So in order for us to access those planets, we would have to be changed to a different format. And as Paul speaks on in the book of 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 49 concerning the change that we're going to receive, let's begin by reading verse 48. As is the earthy, such are they that are earthy. And as in the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly. In other words, the celestial. Right now, we're just terrestrial for the terrestrial, which is the earth. And the heavenly represents the celestial. So when we become extraterrestrial, right, half celestial, half terrestrial, so to speak, we'll begin to venture off into the celestial dimension. Easy. This is why this reads, and as we have borne the image of the earthy, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. There it is. So we are going to revert back to being the gods that we were before, but much more greater. And so that we can experience these various planets. All right. And that's what these devils are trying to do. They're trying to access power through the left-hand side with their low-dimensional technology to access other planets and to go far as they can beyond. But there's no going beyond. All right. There's a limitation to what they can and cannot do. And that's the reality that which will remain upon them. All right. So no matter how deep they are on the left-hand side of things, conjuring up spirits and trying to get access to information from the spiritual realm on the left-hand side, again, they're not going to go far and beyond with that. All right. The only people that's going to be able to do that are the sons of God, which was before and have been reincarnated as Israelites. And when Yahushua makes a second return, we're going to be extraterrestrial, as what Paul spoke about, as I was reading in 1 Corinthians 15 and 49. All right. So now let's read this over here. Neuralink, revolutionizing brain-computer interfaces. Musk's demonstration of Neuralink's capabilities was nothing short of revolutionary. The patient showcase in the video was able to control a computer cursor just by thinking, underscoring the profound potential of this technology. Musk explained, we can help a lot of people with brain injuries, ultimately with an implantable device. You can address almost any brain or spine injury, and this groundbreaking technology represents a significant leap forward in medical science and neural engineering. And just as well as the scripture says, primarily in the book of Revelations, the 13th chapter, that matter of fact, let me go and read that, and I'll come back to this later on. But there's a point that I want to make, and it's in verse 14 right here, Revelations 13 and verse 14, as it reads, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. And what are those miracles? Allowing those that are paraplegic to be unparaplegic, allowing those that have no limbs to be active in society like they used to when he had limbs and hands and feet. All right, so that's the miracles that they're willing to do, and as well as people that are brain dead, they can get people to get back to having their brain once again, using the term active again. All right, so that's the miracle. And they'll be able to do that on the left-hand side, and they're kind of doing that now. So because they're doing that now on a small degree, they believe they can go far and beyond and do greater. All right? So that's why people that heard him as he's giving his speech at the Viva Tech conference, that's why they clapped. But there's another side to this technology that we always talk about. So anyway, without me talking anymore, let me continue to read on. So I was right here. This groundbreaking technology represents a significant leap forward in medical science and neural engineering. According to Musk, Neuralink's primary goal is to create a high bandwidth interface to mitigate the risks associated with digital superintelligence. He emphasizes that the communication rate between humans and digital systems is currently a limiting factor. And this is the reason why they're going to be using 6G eventually, which I'll get into this later on. Okay, jumping the gun a little bit here. Salakia for that. Yeah. So where was I? Yeah. To create a high bandwidth interface to mitigate the risks associated with digital superintelligence. And he emphasized that the communication rate between humans and digital systems is currently a limiting factor. The sustained bits per second output of a human is well below 10 bits or bytes per second, if I'm correct. Whereas computers can communicate, yeah, I'm right, bytes, at trillions of bytes per second. Musk noted, by increasing this bandwidth, Neuralink aims to harmonize human and artificial intelligence interactions and potentially preventing future conflicts. Exactly. Because they'll be able to prevent a crime due to your thoughts. And the thing with Elon Musk is in the business of tech just for the sake of data. This is the reason why he has X. And, on X, you can speak about almost anything you want to speak about and share and post information which goes against the narratives of the mainstream media. And the reason why he's allowing this to freely happen, because again, he's in the business of gathering one's data and eventually later on determine whether you are a T or you're an unthreat of a citizen of society. All right. It's all about gathering data, as well as just to mention once again, Whitney Webb brought out that Elon Musk used to work for a military intelligence agency. He was a military contractor, something like that. So all he's doing is he's just using his experience on a greater extent with this X program that he has. All right. And he's allowing people to speak their mind. He's allowing people to provide content. And then therefore, eventually they can determine whether you are a T or you're a non-threat of a citizen of society. Because what they need to know before the New World Order is fully established, are you going to be good for the new society, which is what they're trying to develop, or not? And if they can figure out where you're at, then the time is gonna come. If you fit under the umbrella of being a T, they're gonna just take you out. Because what they can't have people that have a rebellious mind against the system already. Because then if they're involved, they're gonna be troublesome in this New World Order. So they ain't trying to do that. They ain't trying to tolerate people that's gonna be rebellious against the system, the new system that they're trying to set up. Okay? And that's just the thing. And that's why the persecution is going to come eventually, especially upon those that truly believe in Yahweh Bashmi Hashai, as it is written in the book of 2nd Ezra 16, and I think from 69 onwards to verse 75, where it says that there shall be a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. All right? And Revelations 12 and 12, you can also include. So now, since that I've read this, let me go and look up this word bandwidth over here. So the word bandwidth, as it reads, maximum amount of data transmitted over the internet connection, in a given amount of time. And bandwidth is often mistaken for internet speed when it's actually the volume of information that can be sent over in a connection in a measured amount of time, calculated in megabytes per second. So in order for them to get this down correctly, this is the reason why what they're going to have to get into is the 6G tech. Right now, we're in 5G, and with 5G, you could do quite a bit. But 5G is only good for data gathering. All right? So let's read more into this. So as this reads, with 5G network still being deployed around the world, and many areas of the globe still using 4G and even 3G networks, it seems a bit early to throw around the term 6G. After all, what use do we have for 6G networks when relatively few people can even use a 5G network? Question. That's a technology always pushes forward in standards to take a long time to mature. So we've always been on a path to a 6G world. If anything, the idea of 6G this early in development of 5G simply indicates how quickly this technology moves forward. We've managed to go from 1G to 5G in such a relative short amount of time. So 6G is just a natural progression towards a faster and better wireless connectivity. 6G makes sense as the successor to 5G, but one day we might stop with all of the numbers and names and just say that we're connected. Ultimately, whether it's the 6G, 7G, or another G, will have such incredible fast speed that no progress bars or wait times will be required for normal amount of data. What I need to do is get to the point, and this is where I should have started reading right here. So as this reads, it's been typical for new mobile network standard to take the spotlight every decade or so. That means 6G networks might roll out sometime around 2030 or even a bit earlier in Asia and other areas that were first to introduce 5G, or at least that when most telecom companies will be running trials when we'll see phone manufacturers tease 6G capable phones. However, it's coming for work to start as long as a decade prior to any real implementation of new network technology, which might be why you'll start hearing about 6G before you even have your hands on a 5G phone. Progress won't start and finish overnight, though. For the same reason 5G rollouts are slow, 6G networks won't come out as quickly as we would like, and there are frequent bans to debate over spectrum license to purchase, physical towers to build and coordinate, and rules to do. Hold on, wait there. Okay. Because I just want to get to the point rather than reading all of this. There's a point that I want to get into. Yeah, this is it right here. Thank you. 6G benefits, the water Yahweh Shmiel Shai. 6G benefits, anything that you use a network connection for right now will be greatly improved on a 6G network. Literally, every single improvement that 5G brings will manifest as an even better, enhanced version on a 6G network. We're already destined to have more powerful VRs and AR systems with 5G, plus interconnected smart cities and farms, AI at our fingertips, intelligence robotics working in factories, autonomous cars with vehicle-to-vehicle communication, and more. So this is all that you can actually do with even 5G. So I say again, just imagine what 6G can do. Come on now. 6G will continue to support all of those areas with greater strength, while also providing even more bandwidth, that will ultimately expand innovation even further, maybe into fields we haven't tapped into yet, or even considered. Think more immersive experience in life like hologram video calls. So just as well as Elon Musk was saying that they're having issues with, merging as it reads over here, I might as well read it again. Yeah, so this is what he was saying over here. According to Musk, Neuralink's primary goal is to create a high bandwidth interface to mitigate the risks associated with digital superintelligence. He emphasizes that the communication rate between humans and digital systems is currently a limiting factor, and the sustained bits per second output of a human is well below 10 bytes per second, whereas computers can communicate at trillions of bytes per second. Musk noted, by increasing this bandwidth, Neuralink aims to harmonize humans and AI interactions and potentially prevent future conflicts. So therefore, they're going to have to need the 6G to make this work. Because if you can use 5G, as I've already read, to do all of this stuff, then 6G will be able to do it. Okay? For example, Marcus Weldon of Nokia Bell's Lab says that 6G will be a sixth sense experience for humans and machines where biology meets AI. See? And that's the goal. Hence, you've heard the term transhumanism, merging human beings with robots, and the robot which is of what? AI, right? So if they can merge you with the AI, because the AI is going to be working with government as they're working on right now, then that's how they're going to be able to get access to your data more effectively with the 6G tech. Okay? So all of your information will be gathered on the database much more effectively and faster, and that they'll be able to measure out your whole entire life. This is the goal, baby. Japanese phone operators NTT Docomo predicts 6G. 6G will enable Salakia. 6G will enable the sophistication of cyber physical fusion, which that documents claim will be required in the 2030s, which they already got the tech already in effect, right? This will, according to them, make it possible for cyberspace to support human thought and action in real time. Check this out, through wearable devices and micro devices mounted on the human body. So just as well as it came into being quickly, for us to merge from what? A 3G to 5G program, in due time, they can come with the 6G thing too. Okay, remember, the government is 25 years ahead of people. So there's no telling, man, that the powers that be, they got this already on the ready. All right? All they got to do is bring this out, get us desensitized to it, and want to get one, especially when it's time to get one, because it's going to be mandatory to get these implantable devices anyway. And that's the rollout of the market. Do you know what? Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to read 2 Peter's 2 and verse 19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts. Let's read another prophecy, Isaiah 34 and verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read, and no one of these shall fail, and none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and the spirit it hath gathered them. So none of the prophecies of this book, the Bible, will fail, and it's not going to fail us if we heed to the instructions of it. Okay? Just like Peter said, that we have a more sure word of prophecy. So again, the prophecies will come into actualization. It's not a matter of maybe, it's a matter of when. Because it's going to come. All right? It's going to come. And when it comes, the true prophets are going to be declared as being right, as it is written in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 2, where it says that they shall know that a prophet have been among them, and the prophets that had erred because of a false vision, they're going to be confounded with all of that. Okay? So now let's read the prophecy that we always like to read. Revelations 13 and 16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, say that he had the mark or the name of beast, or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And just to mention as well, the mark of the beast does not represent sin. And that's another video that I'm going to be doing later on, Lord willing. Okay. And they've been talking about that for a while. And I'm talking about the boys in purple in this case. They've been saying that for a while, speaking about how the mark of the beast is the mark of sin. It's something to that equivalent, which the mark of the beast has nothing to do with sin. All right. Sin just means the transgression of the law, and the mark of the beast represents the implantable device, which if you do take, you're going to be in league with the beast. What is the beast? The beast represents the revival version of ancient Rome, which I think a reasonable amount of these guys don't really know. Okay? So that's what it is. It has nothing to do with sin. Now, what you could say, if you do take the mark of the you know what, then you'll be violating Leviticus 19. But the mark of the beast has nothing to do. I mean, it has some relevance to do with sin, as well as I've mentioned, but you can't merge the mark. You can't say the mark of sin is the mark of the beast, because it's again, we're talking two different things. All right. And as a matter of fact, what Bible scripture has those wordings? The mark, what is it? Sin, the mark of sin. It's not in there. So if it's not in there, then these Negroes is adding into the book. All right. So anyway, I'm going to get into that later on, Lord willing. So with that, I want to close with this, giving all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashmi Hashai Bashim Harakak Wadash. And with that, and double honors to the elder apostles, and as well as the bishops on down, for teaching us this truth. And Yahweh Bashmi Hashai Brakafam, to all of the sincere believers that are in this thing of ours, that are giving this ministry, and to those that do follow it, whom is the 1/3 overall, which is the elect. And that's all I got to say, man. It's your brother Laban, and I'm out. Shalom.